Bimbo was a very beautiful girl, beautiful in the sense of beauty. She was very beautiful, and every guy around Bimbo was always looking out for her. She had a lot of male friends who loved her and cared about her so much. So one day Bimbo was going to work, and then she saw one tall, handsome young man by the station, the bus station, where she also was waiting for a bus to go to work as early as 5:30 a.m. Bimbo had waited for her bus, and it happened that Bimbo and this Mr. Handsome, as I would like to call him, sat on the same part of the bus, and they exchanged numbers. So Bimbo went to work, and in the evening she got a text message or a chat from this Mr. Handsome, and they had a conversation. They started checking on each other. They became friends, and from friendship we grew into something that one would say they were planning to get married. But the handsome man never proposed, and Bimbo was always wondering why a guy who, doted on her, who loved her this much, would take a long time like this to propose. And Bimbo was always having a conversation. Sometimes she'll be with herself talking, or maybe with some friends, asking questions like, how come a guy is this handsome and he has every quality and all of that, and he's not yet, beginning in asking the question, will you marry me, kind of question. And the guy was he was so kind to her. He did all the beautiful things for Bimbo, and Bimbo wanted more. But the guy, knowing who he was, he didn't even want to get involved in anything. But he cared about Bimbo. There was no extra relationship issues. There were no problems. The guy knew what Bimbo wanted per time, and almost like he was reading her mind. So every time he did something, Bimbo would thank him and say that was really thoughtful of you. So when Bimbo and this guy became very, very intimate, he now decided to propose. Normally, in a proposal, the guy is supposed to have his family members or some of his family members, maybe his mom, maybe he's very close to the mom, and some push it a notch higher to bring in, the girl's family members. But in this case, he decided that he was going to engage this girl, and asked her on a date, and she came, and he did the engagement alone. He didn't even ask her to come to the dinner with her family members or any friend of hers, or he never even invited any friend of Bimbo. Of course, you know very well that he doesn't even want people to be there. He wanted to just do it with Bimbo alone. And being that it was a dinner, if he had asked Bimbo to come with friends, Bimbo would have maybe suspected. So he didn't want them to suspect anything that was going on. And then when Bimbo sat, he woke up, gave Bimbo, a hug, and asked her to sit. He pulled the chair for her to sit on, and she sat. They started having dinner. Bimbo went through the menu to pick what she would eat. The guy went through the menu to pick what he will also eat, and they had a very deep conversation. And that was when he planned with one of the attendants to do something that was extraordinary. Bimbo is someone that loves a lot. She loves to take fruits. So they did a mixture of fruits. They cut open the watermelon and put different kinds of fresh fruits. Then they put the ring inside one of those fruits. So as she kept eating, she was eating and going forward. She was eating. She didn't pick that particular one. She ate again. She didn't pick that one. She was just telling the guy that, this is so thoughtful that we came for dinner and you're not giving me normal food. You're giving me things that will make me healthy. This is a good one. So that was how the guy said, don't worry, continue, enjoy your meal. And Bimbo kept munching and enjoying and nodding. I was like, wow, this is so good. She was praising him, Mr. Handsome, all through. And so Bimbo now, when she picked the strawberry, it was in one of the strawberries that she just beat something and did like this. She poured it out. And immediately she asked, "What's the meaning of this?" It was one beautiful gold ring with a stone, a silver stone on it. So beautiful. And she was asking why these people will be so unprofessional to not wash their fruits properly. That apparently they did a very shabby work. And the guy, Mr. Hanson, was just looking at her, smiling but not making her understand that she, she had fallen for a prank. So she immediately handed him the ring and saying, "Can you imagine what those people are doing?" That was how the guy collected the ring. He was showing so much concern that this is the highest level of unprofessionalism. They wouldn't have done a thing like this. So he said, "Can I have the ring?" And then Bimbo handed the ring over to Mr. Handsome. Immediately, he handed the ring. She handed the ring and was trying to look somewhere and turned and saw the guy already on one knee, asking her whether he will marry her. While he brought the ring to give her, he had carried a placard and kept it this way, reading, "Will you marry me?" And then Bimbo was like, "Is this for real? Like, what you are trying to say, is this real, or you are trying to pull my legs?" And it was like, "It's real." He said, "Bimbo, marry me." So the guy was now, smiling. And then Bimbo now said yes. So on the second thought, she was like, "Why didn't you at least invite your friend or a family member of yours to just be here, someone you're close to?" The guy now said, he hardly keeps friends, but because Bimbo doesn't know who he was, he hardly keeps friends. And Bimbo was like, "That's a good one. At least her marriage is going to be safe out of third party issues." So she was glad and all. She thanked him, hugged him, and that was how Bimbo started the journey. So before now, Bimbo was like, "When are they going to start, seeing each other's parents and all that?" He was saying that he can't travel to his place. He doesn't want, to put so much burden on his pocket, on his finances. He just want them to get married. That he has some uncles where they live that are going to do everything. But was like, "No, that from where she comes from, you need to let it be properly done. You need to see the father of the girl, and she will see your own parents, and then the thing will be done legally so that every member of the family will know each other. At least father and mother should know each other." He was trying to make some excuses. That one dragged and dragged. That even delayed their marriage and made it like 2 months gone, and they hadn't even done much because she was not ready to give in to that kind of arrangement. That was how they got married eventually. Bimbo took in. As Bimbo took in, on the day she was supposed to give birth, they took her to the hospital and they did not see Mr. Handsome again. They looked everywhere. The good thing is Mr. Hanson was able to use his original name that he died with. So they started looking for Mr. Handsome. They looked for him. They called his phones. His phones were switched off. They said the number never existed. It was like a dream, but it was real. So Bimbo was crying that how can she want to go and give birth, and the supposed husband is not even picking calls and all that. That what's going on? Is this a prank? Is it a dream? And that was how they started looking for this guy. They didn't see him. They now started tracing and tracing, only for them to discover that the guy was actually a ghost. All this while, he was actually a ghost, and he got married to Bimbo, brought in people he paid to stand in as his own parents, and Bimbo's parents received them, not knowing that those people were not real. Mr. Hanson was actually a ghost, not a normal human being. So an elderly man in the community was explaining that most times when people die and come back like that is because they had not finished their service while they were here. So they enter into different bodies to complete the reason why they are here. And nobody is able to explain that if it's biblical or not. But the truth is, like they say, there is no reincarnation. Reincarnation is not biblical, but these things happen. And until they happen to you, you don't understand how the people felt or what it is that makes these things happen. But on the last day, like I used to say in my videos, God will explain all this to us. Thank you for watching.